Hi, this is the first of three parts of the theoretical knowledge and practical training package for the BGA cloud flying endorsement and also the SFCL sailplane cloud flying rating. And this is the first part, the introduction. Our agenda, we're going to talk a little bit in the introduction about regulatory things. In part 2, we're going to look at the theoretical training package. And in part 3, we're going to look at flight training. The EASA cloud flying rating, which is described in SFCL.215, originally entered law in 2014, and then that was required to fly a Part 21 sailplane. That's what we know as an EASA sailplane, or a powered sailplane, but not TMGs, in cloud. And if the law takes place as expected, as I say this, which is October 22, then after December next year, that's 2023, the EASA sailplane cloud flying rating will be needed. So after Brexit, we adopted that into UK law as part of SFCL. Now, it's not required to fly a sailplane in IMC, that's instrument meteorological conditions, outside cloud, that is less than 1,000 feet vertically and less than 1,500 meters horizontally, providing you don't actually enter the cloud. This doesn't apply to non-Part 21 sailplanes, the old Annex 2 ones, that's the old ones, when there's no change from current rules. And everything we talk about in this whole series of presentations includes powered sailplanes, but doesn't include TMGs unless we state otherwise. The BGA cloud flying endorsement actually gives you nothing that you don't already have. It's perfectly legal, though not sensible, to go flying in cloud without any sort of qualification whatsoever. But it was created to ease the transition to SFCL, and it's based on exactly the same requirements as the sailplane cloud flying rating, and it's indeed devised by the same people. Nominally, it's valid for 5 years, but come December, it will die because we won't be on the BGA system anymore. But if you have this endorsement, then you can get a sailplane cloud flying rating when you apply for an SPL. But if you already have an SPL, you can apply through the BGA to add the sailplane cloud flying rating. So it's a really good mechanism for getting that rating. And in one or two important ways that we'll discuss, it's a little easier to get than the EASA qualification. So, what do we need to get the BGA endorsement? Well, a pilot needs a Bronze C and a cross-country endorsement and 30 hours pilot in command on sailplanes. And then either a PPL or higher qualification and an IMCR or instrument rating. So that's one of the PPL instrument qualifications or its military equivalent in the last 5 years. And if you have one of those things, then you can automatically be granted this rating. Or you can do the ground school, of which this is part, and flight training with an instructor sign-off. There's no need anymore for an actual flight exam, but the standard is the same. As I said, it's valid for 5 years, and there is an application form for it on the BGA website. The sailplane cloud flying rating under SFCL, the requirements for that are pretty similar. And there is a requirement that you need one of these things in order to fly in cloud in a glider. So again, you need 30 hours PIC after the license issue. And you need to do a training course. This will be at a direct training organisation, so our club, and that consists of this theoretical knowledge training, more than 2 hours flight training in sailplanes, powered sailplanes or TMGs, of which a maximum of 50% of the dual flight instruction can be in a TMG. We can't do that in cloud, it has to be in VMC. If you've got a basic instrument rating or an instrument rating in aeroplanes, you just need to do the 1 hour in the sailplane. So this is a way in which the SFCL qualification is training is a little different from the BGA one. In the BGA one, we can do everything in TMGs, and here we're going to have to do an hour in sailplanes. Once you've got the cloud flying rating, there is a recency requirement, and the BGA have aligned their requirement with the SFCR. And the recency requirement for that is that you're only permitted to exercise your privileges if in the last 24 months you've either done 1 hour flight time or 5 flights as pilot in command exercising the privilege in sailplanes. And all it needs is logbook evidence. So if you make a note every time you go into cloud for how long, that'll do it. That's not required if you've got a current basic instrument rating or instrument rating on aeroplanes, although it doesn't stop it being sensible. If you can't comply with either of the above, then complete the outstanding flight time or flights with an instructor, or undertake a proficiency test with an examiner. So that's the regulatory part that we've now looked at. Next, we'll be looking at the theoretical aspects of cloud flying in gliders.